set, and then we can do a little bit of guard retention, and then we'll run the situational back. So, I think like one of the things that we're doing here is really like helping you guys understand like which body part we're driving. So like this will be really helpful when I think it's always helpful at any point in your jiu-jitsu journey. It's just like mixing up the like the force driver that I'm leading with. So it's like I'm driving with my chest, I'm driving with my hips. Like when you do Toreandos, like I'm getting past them and then I'm driving in with my knee. When I'm looking to like do some outside passing, I'm driving with my head. Maybe he'll like try and like recover, and then if I switch to my head into my hips, now I'm getting past it and now I'm driving with my knee again. So it's just like I'm keeping it just like confusing for my, because if I just always go for my head and I don't switch it up, it's just obvious what I'm trying to do. It might be annoying for him. But like right there was a great example of like I'm driving with my head and then all of a sudden I use my hips, a little bit of a thrust to get his legs away. So that's like a concept you guys can play with when we do the situational rounds again. I think it helps people just be a little more creative too with how they approach guard passing. So we'll do a little bit of guard retention. So the person on bottom, like what are you looking to do when you're on bottom? Obviously, like just from the game itself, you know that like your legs are a big part of this. So I don't want Dan to get past my legs. I don't like when people get too grips on it. So I'm like constantly looking to keep my legs free and sort of like swinging my legs, using my legs like my hands. It's kind of like how I'm thinking about it. Because I don't like people to have both grips on my feet, I usually keep one high and I usually keep one low. So this way, like, it's never easy for my partner to just get two grips on my feet like this, and then just be able to like throw me one direction. So one way you can prevent that is to keep one low and one high. So like he looks for that other one, like he's kind of like taking himself out of position, and then now I can strip the top one. It's like a little bit of a constant battle. When I'm on the bottom as well, my knees are also like, they're not, I want to protect my hip space, but if I'm just like straight, Dan can kind of just push me aside. That's not good for me either. So I like to think like my knees are open and they're connected to my elbows, sort of like this diamond shape. I'm not always just going to be like, you can totally just grab your knees and sit here for the entire round. I guarantee like it's hard for you to pass me. but it's like, but I don't have all that much offense. So it's like it's sort of like this is the default position, but I also want to know like when to sort of move, sort of when to frame and stuff. So like, there's a lot of guard retention movements as well, but that's like kind of like the basic kind of like position that you'll see. I'm essentially turning into a ball. And this is what makes guards strong as well, because if I connect to my opponent and I'm a ball, like I can start moving them simply from the fact that I'm a ball and I'm connected to them. So I'm not like using so much energy where my back is flat on the mat and I'm trying to like push him from down here. I'm kind of thinking about like, I'm strong in guard when I'm a ball, and I can start moving him simply through connection. And then one thing I'll also say in guard retention here, I generally advise people to not hip escape. So hip escape being like, I put my foot down and I bring my hips back. And the reason I don't recommend this, so let's say Dan takes an angle, and like the feeling that I get is like, oh no, he's crowding my space, he's got an angle on me. I need to like get my hips away. So like people will put their foot down on the ground to try to get hips away. Why I don't recommend this is because I'm trying to protect that hip space. The minute I put my foot down, Dan's gonna take that space. Now I'm like in a worse position. So what I recommend is, in order to keep this sort of position, I recommend a high pummel. So Dan takes an angle. I'm gonna take the far leg, and I basically like find some part of his body. I'm like coming over, right? Like attached to his arm, attached to his leg, and I use that connection to pull myself back to face my partner. So he takes another angle. So this high pummel protects my hip space. He can even take like a superbly big angle like this, and I can still find some way to spin back. So you're sort of like spinning on the, depending on how far it is, but right there it was like more on my upper shoulders. In that case, like if you move that far, I probably wouldn't go for that. I'd probably just look to invert. So like it's like I'm creating a connection. I'm not putting my legs on the mat, and then I basically square out again. So again, it's like that. I'm keeping this ball. There are times like I won't say that I should never do that because like there are times where a little hip escape is fine. But notice how even when I did that, I wasn't like doing any, like putting my foot on the mat, opening all this space here. I'm always like sort of keeping this knees to chest and moving my hips back, moving my hips forward. It doesn't matter. Like it's still, I still have this kind of like ball shape. So just sort of like thinking about that concept will help you guys retain guard a little better. Any questions? We'll do like 3 to 5 minutes of this, like assume that position, and then ask your partner to start taking flanks on you, take angles on you, and then see if you can not hip escape. Like feel the pressure because it's gonna, you don't really like that when someone takes that close to the flank. You feel like you're getting your legs past. Do a high pummel, attach to your partner, and then use that to pull yourself back in the line. Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Yeah.